Deep in the Democratic Republic of Congo, a truly massive project is taking shape. I mean, the goal here is just huge. They're trying to build a profitable business that creates thousands of jobs, actually restores the environment, and fights climate change, all at the same time. This is the story of a 10,000-hectare green engine designed to prove that you really can have it all.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at the big challenge they're trying to solve. Then, we'll dive right into the 10,000-hectare solution itself, unpack its amazing profit engine, see how the impact goes way beyond money, and finally, look at how it's designed to handle the real world.
So let's set the scene here. The DRC is facing this huge classic problem. How do you create economic growth, real opportunities for people in a country that's also home to one of the most important ecosystems on the entire planet, the Congo Basin rainforest?
And that really boils down to this one massive question that this whole project is trying to answer. Is it even possible to make huge profits while you are actively healing the environment and creating real lasting jobs for a community? Or are those things always going to be at odds with each other?
Well, this project's answer is a huge, resounding yes. It's an incredibly bold solution on a scale that's hard to even imagine. And it's designed from the very beginning to work like a living, breathing, and very profitable ecosystem.
First off, let's just try to wrap our heads around the scale we're talking about. 10,000 hectares. That is roughly the size of Paris. So this is not your average farm. This is a full-on landscape transformation.
And this is where the strategy gets really, really smart. This is not just one giant field of a single crop, it's a strategic puzzle. You can see right here a full 70% of the land is for a special tree called Polonia. Some for timber, some for biomass. The other 30% is for super important food crops, cassava and sugarcane.
So what is this Polonia tree? Well, it's kind of the superstar of the whole show. It's a special hybrid that grows incredibly fast. It produces this amazing, high-quality wood. You can also harvest it for energy. And this is the big one. It sucks up a ton of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. It's the engine that powers both the profits and the positive climate impact.
Okay, so how does all this turn into actual money? See, this isn't a project that's just betting on one thing. It's an integrated machine with six different engines of profit all working together.
Just look at this table. The diversity here is what's so fascinating. You've got your heavy hitters, timber and ethanol, each pulling in over 25 million bucks a year. But then, right behind them, bam, carbon credits at a massive 17.5 million. And then you have cassava, biomass energy, and even honey filling it all out. This isn't just a business plan. It's a financial shock absorber. It makes the whole thing incredibly resilient.
And they are squeezing every last drop of value out of every single hectare. They're not just growing and selling raw stuff. No, they're building processing plants right there to turn cassava into flour and sugarcane into ethanol, which multiplies the revenue. They even plant spices like turmeric and ginger in between the trees. And get this, they have 10,000 beehives making premium honey from all the flowers. It is an absolute masterclass in synergy. So the money part is impressive, for sure. But the real ambition of this project goes so much deeper. It's all built on this idea of the triple bottom line, when you measure success not just in dollars, but in benefits for the planet and, of course, for people.
First, let's just put that profit number up again. When this thing is fully up and running, all those different income streams add up to almost $80 million a year. That's the economic foundation that makes everything else possible.
Now, for the planet, this is just staggering. Those Polonia trees are going to pull 1.75 million tons of CO2 out of the atmosphere every single year. I mean, to put that in perspective, that's like taking almost 400,000 cars off the road. And then there are the people. This project is set to create over 2,000 direct, long-term jobs. In a rural area where a stable paycheck is hard to come by, that is an absolute game changer. It means reliable income and a chance to build real skills.
And this isn't just happening in a vacuum. The project is designed to hit some of the UN's biggest sustainable development goals. It helps fight hunger, pushes for gender equality by aiming for a 40% female workforce, creates good jobs, and takes huge climate action. It's a local project that's having a truly global impact.
And this quote from the team behind it really just sums up the whole philosophy. The point is to prove that you can do intensive farming and include the local community, that those two things are not enemies. The big, ultimate vision here is to create a blueprint that can be copied all across the continent and maybe even the world.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. A project this huge in a place like the DRC, you know there are going to be major risks. So a massive part of the plan is tackling those challenges head-on with smart, real-world strategies. So let's look at the big external risks. What if there's a serious drought? Well, they've planned for drip irrigation and are using trees that are actually drought-resistant. What if the price of timber or sugar crashes? That's why they have 6 different ways to make money and will lock in prices ahead of time. See? They've thought it through.
And it's not just about weather and markets. They're also tackling the on-the-ground stuff. Political instability? They're locking in formal government partnerships and getting special insurance for that. Roads are a nightmare? They're investing $1.5 million to fix them, and are even using Starlink to monitor the whole site in real time. They are building their own resilience.
And you might be thinking, this sounds great, but is it just an idea? Nope. There's a solid 24-month roadmap to make it happen. It's a clear, step-by-step plan that covers everything from getting the land rights and designing the farms to actually planting the trees and building the processing plants. Full operations are set to kick in starting in year 3. And here's one of the smartest parts of the whole thing. They are not betting the farm all at once. The investment plan is phased. They start with a 2,000-hectare pilot to prove that the model works. Only when that's a success do they scale up to 5,000 and then finally to the full 10,000-hectare vision. It's a step-by-step approach that makes the project way less risky for everyone.
Which leaves us with this one final really big question. Is this project just a wildly ambitious, one-of-a-kind moonshot? Or are we looking at a genuine blueprint, a repeatable model for how to successfully combine profit, people, and the planet? Not just in the Congo, but maybe for the whole world.